Oh, we got a diamond shield. Oh yeah, diamond shield is like a really good, like a really good item. That's like a possible like end game, depending on your preference. That's like a potential like end game material right there. Although I say that's kind of arguably one of the things that kind of it doesn't really bother me, but I can see how it might bother some people. Is there's not really a whole lot of like item. Oh yeah, I forgot. I want to change. You can change your HUD around as well, which is another nice little bit of. Oh, and yeah, of course this game has traps, which I'm pretty sure they covered traps in the tutorial on the first floor. But oh damn, that is really bad. Let's just run the fuck away. Okay, yeah, that's really. I could see I could see those cyclones looming in the distance. Yeah, basically anytime. Oh, come on, Jasu, what are you doing? Yeah, basically anytime you encounter 2 in a row, really? Really? Is that all? Is that what you're about? You've been going around saying like, oh yeah, I'm ready for the tower. I can withstand bonks on the head from old men and drop kicks from evidently tomboyish, yet very. Anyways, oh, anyway. So enough of that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, trying to get through this stupid thought. So yeah, basically on certain floors of the tower, there are basically predetermined items that will kind of let you advance little subplots within town. And also, although there is one item in particular that is one of those sort of hard-coded items that is actually very useful in gameplay terms, and that is basically the very first item, the very first major item that you'll find in the tower is actually the second collar. You can actually have. So yeah, at the start of the game, you only have the red collar, but upon, I believe it's floor 12, you actually get the blue collar, which lets you have 2 monsters out at the same time, and also gives you the ability to fuse monsters as well. And I'll cover that when we get that ability, but for that, and yeah, the ability to fuse monsters, if you know, we can't, yeah, we'll want to be using mixture magic here, since, yeah, are too narrow for our buddy to fit here. And anyway, so yeah, because yeah, basically if you get the right monsters for it, fusion can really accelerate your progress through the tower. Basically, by fusing monsters together, you can do some pretty cool stuff that'll let you just that'll basically let you kind of accelerate your progress and get through the tower a lot faster. So for that reason, I typically like to try and get that second collar as soon as possible, and ideally I try to get it on the first run. And again, that's because on your first run you have all of these advantages where you have all of those great items from the first floor. And actually, yeah, I want this guy to attack directly. So, and yeah, so for that reason, this first tower run is going to go... oh, there's the freaking spell. Okay, looks like we've leveled it up enough to handle the flames, but... anyways, for this first tower run is going to go a lot slower than subsequent runs, just because I really want to get to the 12th floor here. And so for that reason, I'm going to be doing a lot more kind of experience farming shenanigans that you typically don't need to do on subsequent runs, because yeah, like I said, your familiars retain their experience from one run to the other. So like on our next tower run, our pet Baku here will get to keep his level, so we'll be able to just fly through these first however many floors we make it through, just because our pets will be so high leveled. And that's kind of the way you can get through the tower eventually. Just basically through persistence, you're basically just eventually guaranteed victory in this game, because eventually you'll level up your monsters to such a degree that they'll be able to handle anything. But that actually takes a really super ridiculously long time. But so in fact, yeah, you're basically the first time through the game, if you try to sort of brute force your way through that way by just power leveling your monsters, that's kind of the slowest and most terrible way to try and beat this game, essentially. But thankfully, if you kind of engage with the various game systems and and also just learn some various tricks to let you kind of manipulate fusion and manipulate monster AI and kind of learn how to use the items well, you can you can basically make progress a lot faster just by sort of, you know, making good use of items is the main thing, which is not really something you're going to be able to, or one, making use of items, and two, learning what all of the monsters do on each floor of the tower. And by the way, I'm just carrying him around here because I was too lazy to put him down. You might think that, okay, so one other mechanic I forgot to mention, yeah, your monsters have MP, and basically, instead of just costing... So it's not just spells that will cost your monsters MP, you will actually... Basically, every single action that your monster takes will cost him MP, whether it's walking, or attacking, or casting spells, just everything. Basically, whatever he does, you're going to be draining MP slowly, and some actions will take more MP than others. Like, just walking around doesn't take much MP at all. I don't know exactly what the rate is, but basically, you can do a fair bit of walking around before you even lose a single magic point. Whereas stuff like casting, I think they explained it in the tutorial, casting mixture magic is kind of the second least magic wasting action, and then direct attacks are a little bit more magic intensive, and then your sort of command spells. In fact, I might as well show off one of those. Or I guess there's no point now. It's really tricky to... Or yeah, basically I might as well just... yeah, cast one at the next monster that comes up. Except, yeah, it's really tricky because, as you can see now, if I try to make him cast it, he's not facing in the right direction, and there's actually no way to get him to face in the right direction, so it's kind of annoying in that regard. Basically, it's just very situationally useful. But, yeah, if you... Okay, then okay, get him lined up. Okay, and the next one that comes up. God damn it. Okay. Or will this work? No, it won't. Oh well. And actually, I really don't think I want to waste his MP anyways. But anyways, basically, because our monster is so weak at this point, because, yeah, he's basically actually... actually, the default... our default sort of familiar here, the Cune / or I don't know what this thing... Like, yeah, yeah, Cune or Cuny or Cune, whatever it is. His name is Baku. We'll just call him Baku because it's easier to say. So yeah, our Baku here is not actually the best monster out there, I'll put it. So yeah, we'll actually be wanting to replace this guy as soon as we can. He's not particularly strong, and he's actually weaker than our character. Like, if just by leveling up, we are gaining more stats per level than our familiar, which is just abysmal, because yeah, our character does not have... Yeah, Jasu does not have particularly great stat growth compared to some of the better monsters in this game. So yeah, for that reason, I actually find that, especially for this first tower run, it's actually often a good idea, I think, to instead of relying on Baku, it's a better idea to just actually, one valid strategy is to just keep him in the bag the entire time and just go it solo. And the benefit to that is experience is split between the two of you when you have your familiar out. So yeah, you'll see. In fact, let's do this now. Or yeah, might as well. Or can we get another level up before? It doesn't look like it. Might as well advance to the next floor. I think we're on, is this going to be 4 right now? Oh god, we're getting up there in time. I think I'll actually just cut the... Yeah, save and quit to just cut the video after this floor. Oh good, we got our medicinal herb replaced. That's good. I haven't actually even been looking at the stuff that we've picked up so far. Oh, we got a decurse. Awesome. Although, with that said... So the thing with curses is, yeah, it makes it so that your equipment is weaker. You can see, because our Scorch Shield is cursed, it's a -1, so it's only worth 4 defense instead of the usual 5, and it also makes it so that we can't remove it, which is a bit of a shame. The thing with cursed, though, is for some bizarre reason, cursed equipment is worth a lot more money when sold at shops, which is really strange. But yeah, for that reason... it's sometimes beneficial to just basically keep your cursed equipment on and don't uncurse it so that you can sell it for a bunch of money in town. I think you get like some ridiculous bonus. I think it's like usually in the like thousands of gold for cursed items. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. Maybe that's why like all the other monsters that we'll be seeing as we talk to the various town NPCs throughout the game, just how worthless all of the other monster hunters in town are. It's like basically once you start talking to the guys, they start telling you, it's like, wow, you made it all the way to level 5. It's like most of the hunters don't even make it past the first 2 or 3 floors, and it's like, well, you guys are a bunch of wusses, and you're like making fun of me. Or I didn't show you guys so much, but basically if you go around talking to like a bunch of the other monster hunters in town at the monster shop, and basically at the bar is the main place where they start kind of making fun of you, and then it's like, it's not really that hard to... It's like if it's your very first time playing the game, I can see how you might end up getting kind of screwed over. Like in that kind of sticky situation we ended up in way back at the start of the proper tower run after the tutorial, I can see how a new player might have kind of screwed that up. But unless you get unlucky, it's usually pretty easy to get to at least the 5th or 6th floor, even on your first time playing the game, I think. Wooden wand, kind of worthless. The thing with wands is that they all have... come on. Come on, Baku. Pick up the pace. I hate... Traps are so annoying in this game. That's typically the case, actually, in a lot of these Monster Hunter-style roguelikes, I find, is that typically traps are the thing that end runs, much more so than just any type of monster. Or I guess that's not the case with all of them. I remember Sheeran the Wanderer had some particularly nasty monsters that could just... It's like every time you encounter like a Reaper on the last... What are you doing, Baku? Get the frick in there! You're just like sitting there like a moron. Oh, and then I do that. Just that's great. Both of you guys are making me look bad. Come on. So okay, there's the exit. I think I'm just gonna clean out the floor. Oh, and now you want to go fighting on your own. Whatever. Okay, so let's actually look at what we got on the inventory here. So, even so, I'm more... Anyways, I was talking about cursed stuff there before. Yeah, basically at this point I'm more concerned with making progress more so than getting a bunch of money. So I think what I actually want to do is, yeah, equip the diamond shield. And yeah, this right here is one of the best shields in the game for various reasons, even apart from just having the 7 defense. Oh, Ice Rock, that's a good... Oh, we're finding all kinds of... This could end up being a really good run, actually. So yeah, Wood Shield is basically worthless. We can get rid of... Oh god, I'm sorry, Baku. I'm sorry. I forgot that you could do that. One thing that you can do to not... And I should try to remember to do that, is you can actually make use of all of your... So, for example, antidote. Poison is not... Poison can be pretty devastating in this game, actually, but it's pretty rare. So what we're going to do... Yeah, I think I got distracted talking about this before. We can just feed it to our familiar, and then it says that nothing happened, but he actually gains a little bit of NP for that. Oh, and yeah, that was one in our inventory, actually, so let's give him this one, too. So yeah, basically, as far as items go, you've got the pita fruit, which is kind of your main MP restoration item, which you can use to keep your familiars out longer. And so yeah, what ends up happening once your familiar runs out of MP is he basically just goes to sleep, and he's just completely useless until you either get him some NP or just let him die, I guess, which actually can be useful, because yeah, there is no familiar permadeath in this game. If your little monster buddy gets knocked out, then he just actually, he doesn't even get sent back to town. He just stays in your inventory, and if you find a revive item, you can revive him. But yeah, no monster permadeath. So one actual viable tactic is to actually use your... Once your monsters run out of MP, you can kind of use their their paralyzed bodies as kind of meat shields when fighting monsters. So yeah, even in death, and that's kind of like a lot of what this game in particular, and like a lot of these roguelikes in general, are all about, is just kind of making the best use out of everything that you can find, making, as they what do they put it, making use of the whole buffalo, so to speak. I don't know if that's a common analogy in other places in the world, but it's like the way the Native Americans. The reason the buffalo was so important to the Native Americans is they could use like literally every single piece of it to make something useful. So it's just kind of a general phrase to say it, just like, you know, make the best use out of every possible thing that's given to you, essentially. And so yeah, the downed familiar in this case, being represented by the dead buffalo in the case of this is a terrible analogy. I don't know why I keep doing these kinds of things. I know exactly why I keep saying these kinds of stupid things. It's because I'm an awkward nerd. Sorry if you guys haven't figured it out already. I'm outing myself right now. Awkward nerd. Right here. Oh god, this guy. So I think another thing I was talking about before that I think I got kind of sidetracked from. Basically, a little pro tip if this is like anyone's getting into this game for the first time. Basically, the first time you encounter a new monster on any given floor, that is probably a decent sign that monster is gonna kick your ass. Why did I do that? Anyway, so yeah, anytime you encounter a new monster, it's basically time to be like extremely careful, because yeah, that thing. Okay, oh, and there it is right now. That was very, very fast. But yeah, like I said, there's actually not much point to leveling him up much further, just because his usefulness falls off very quickly as you get up to even the next few floors. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put him back in the bag, and I'm just going to do a little bit of solo leveling until the earthquakes start happening, and then I'm just gonna go up to the next level and save and quit in order to break up the video. Because yeah, with that diamond shield was such a great find. This is really gonna make it a lot easier to get through these early floors. And if we can make it up to like about floor 9 or 10 or so, is where things start getting like really crazy, out of control to try and deal with without a familiar. But at that point you can just kind of race through and just race to the exit and just kind of rush your way up to floor 12 from there. And then once you get to floor 12, things are kind of dangerous because you gotta actually thoroughly explore the entire floor to try and find that monster caller. But yeah, as you can see right now, we're getting double experience off of all of these monsters from not having our familiar out. Which, yeah, like I said, can be a very good thing, because basically what's going to happen is starting on about floors 5 through 8 or so, you start encountering a lot of really powerful water monsters that can basically like two-shot your monster anyways. So there's really no point if you're going for that level 12 rush to get the early caller. There's basically no point to leveling up your familiar a whole lot on the lower floors, since he's just gonna die on like floor 6 or 7, basically no matter what you do anyways. Aw, dang it. Oh, what the frick? Ah, frick, I said dang it, and then I realized, oh no, I'm safe, but then I'm not. It turns out I'm not safe. I could have sworn that the diamond shield blocked spells, because yeah, and so the reason the diamond shield is so good, apart from having 7 defense, which is I think the highest in the game for any like non-rare shield, but apart from that, it's also it's rust proof. They're in the game. And yeah, going back to how annoying some traps can be in this game. Oh, and now I started on a long tangent. We'll talk about why the diamond shield is good and the rust traps are annoying in the next video. But yeah, for now, just gonna do just a little bit of leveling until the next earthquake. Okay, room has started to collapse, and so oh dang. Okay, so yeah, basically once the room starts to collapse, rooms start falling away, and then if the room you're in falls away, then nothing bad happens. You just automatically get teleported up to the next floor, which is just fine because you want it to go up eventually anyways, but you lose the opportunity to save your game is the only bad thing. that happens if you end up having the floor collapse and getting teleported up. So yes, I do want to go up to avoid that from happening, and yes, I do want to quit. So yeah, it's been an hour-long video. Basically, just to explain that a little bit on the technical side, I just like to split up the recordings. So because if I do like a big long 3-hour recording and something goes wrong, I lose 3 hours of footage. So I'd like to try to not record too much at one time. So we're gonna call it here. Oh yeah, as you can see, you only get 5 files, which is a bit weird because basically for some reason data in this game takes up a ridiculous amount of space. It takes, or I guess not super ridiculous, but basically each save file. Oh god, I might have to explain. Oh yeah, now I have to explain memory card blocks maybe for some of you guys out there who aren't familiar with the PlayStation. Ain't got time for that. We'll maybe go over it in the next video. But that's my first play session for Azure Dreams. It's something a little different from the usual kind of 2D platformer stuff I play all the time. Let me know what you think in the comments. But regardless, I'm going to be going forward with this playthrough anyways. But so, I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching.